The Lord be with you.
and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus went up the mountain and summoned those who wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12, whom he also named apostles, that they might be with him, and he might send them forth to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. He appointed the 12, Simon, whom he named Peter, James, son of Zebedee, and John, the brother of James, whom he named Boanerges, that is, sons of thunder, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanian, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Brothers and sisters, the Gospel today reminds us of the great value and the great responsibility of our vocation. Jesus could have chosen hundreds, even thousands of followers. Many were capable, educated, influential, and respected. Yet, the Gospel tells us that Jesus summoned those whom he wanted, and they came to him. From among the many, he chose only 12. Indeed, many are called, but few are chosen. What is striking is not only the number, but who were chosen. They were not the most powerful or admired. Some were fishermen, one was a tax collector, and one would later betray him. They were ordinary people, even sinners, often looked down upon by society, yet Jesus chose them, not because they were perfect, but because they were willing to be with him, to be formed by him, and to be sent by him. Like the apostles, we too are called by Christ. Among millions of men and women in the world, only a few were entrusted with particular vocation of service, whether to be ordained ministry, religious life, or committed Christian disciple. This calling is not something we earned. It is a pure gift. That is why vocation must be cherished, protected, and nurtured, not for our own glory, but for the glory of God and His people. The first reading gives us a powerful image of true discipleship. David had the reason and every opportunity to kill Saul, who was unjust and relentlessly pursuing him. Yet David refused. Even cutting a piece of Saul's cloak troubled his conscience. David respected God's anointed and trusted God's justice more than his own power. Here we see the heart of a true servant of God, restraint instead of revenge, mercy instead of violence, trust instead of self-assertion. Being chosen by God does not mean acquiring power, but surrendering to God's timing and His plans. The responsorial psalm echoes this attitude. Have mercy on me, O Lord. Have mercy. The disciples knows that everything depends on God's mercy. We take refuge not in our strength or position, but under the shadow of God's wings. A vocation that forgets mercy becomes harsh and proud. A vocation rooted in mercy becomes life-giving. Discipleship, however, is not easy. Following Christ requires sacrifice, perseverance, and daily conversion. The apostles struggled, failed, and doubted, but they never stopped following Christ. What sustained them was not perfection, but faithfulness. We are reminded of our mission to proclaim the good news. This is not our message, it is the message of Christ Himself, and He remains with us as we carry it to the world. Let me end this homily with the words from Oscar Wilde: "Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Every one of us is called to be holy, even if we are sinners." May the Lord remind us of precious gift of our vocation, and may we live it faithfully for God and for His people.